Hello, it's Jelly, and I am moving so carefully to try to get this cat in my camera as best as... Nope, I've scared him. So, I haven't really done a ton since our last video. Just kidding, I made a whole building. This is where my librarians are. They're so little, and they're vibing. Also, we have a lot more stone and a lot more ground, which means we have a lot more room to work with. My goal for like this little bit of video is to have this section all finished out. I will definitely be doing that off camera, but it will be done while I'm filming this episode. I haven't done a ton of work up here, but I have done something else that's very exciting. Like, yeah, I've been breeding villagers. I've been trading. It's whatever. Oh, shoot. I also built a storage system. Again, I said it wasn't going to be automatic because I don't know how. But I have a whole bunch of chests. I decided my vaguely valuable stuff could go here. All of my blocks and stuff could go here. And I will likely end up putting my redstone components here. I need a torch. It is very dark there. Once I have that section all filled out, I'm going to start working on this section, which will include continuing this floor along the edge so that I can merge it up into there. I don't think we're going to come around on this side. I think that's going to be a little higher up. But that's not what I want to show you. Because, like, yes, this is all very cool. It took time. I made a whole column. I'm missing a single stair there. I want it to look good in here as well as be functional. Like, looking cool, super dope. But I also, I want it to look cool. So I made this tunnel an actual tunnel. Yeah, it's dark outside, so I can't stay long. Otherwise, all of those... Oh, they're already coming for me. Don't get me wrong. There's fully stuff back here. It's not actually that neat and tidy. I'm very happy with it. When this is also filled, maybe I'll do this episode too, because it's really not that much. And once I have that all done, that will be most of the base floor. Like, I'm going to go out that way, but I'm not worried about that right now. That is something that can happen later. This is the equivalent of the center of town. Like, if this were a villager village, the bell would be, like, somewhere in here. In fact, I may even build a bell here. I haven't decided yet. But this is the heart of our city, and therefore the heart of our base. And so I want it to look absolutely as cool as possible. Also, yeah, we have so many cats. It's amazing. I think they just spawn around villagers now, which was not something I was aware of. But they just keep spawning, and I'm absolutely not complaining. Why is there... I'm sorry, what? So you're gonna have to believe me, but I did not leave that block there. I did not just leave a dirt block there. Which does lead me to believe that an Enderman did. Just a little funny. I have here 2 spots that I'm going to eventually build out for stuff. I would also like to continue this upper area at least along this side. I don't know if I'll continue it on this side. Not certain that's necessary, because again, this is not just a whole second floor. This is like a half story. This is a mezzanine, I believe is the actual architectural word. It is supposed to look out onto this large other area and look cool as all get out. And that's its job. That's its job, is just to look cool. And it does it really well. Like, I think we can all agree. It looks real cool. All of that is cool, but that's not really what this episode is going to focus on. What's this episode going to focus on, you ask? We got very lucky, and we found a room with 2 spawners in them. 2 different spawners. The only problem is I don't know how to build a mob spawner for 2 different spawners. So I am going to have to figure that out. Let's empty these real quick. This is a weird shaped room and I was going to have to design it. Thankfully, I think if I dig out like a couple blocks and then go down just like 5, I think I will activate both spawners. I'm going to get the exact coordinates of each and figure out exactly where I can stand and have both activate. Because I don't want to do the thing where you move back and forth to activate the spawner. That's a lot of work and I'm not interested. Happy for the people that can do it. I'm sure it's way more efficient. I can't do it. So I am going to try and do some math. And I'll be right back. I have right in front of me a working double mob spawner farm. It's a lot of just kind of guesswork, honestly. You can, oh goodness. You can see it's just a room. The hardest part was that having 2 spawners meant that the room needed to be longer by just a little bit, so I had to do this sort of thing. It also meant that the room was wider, so I couldn't use the standard way. So what I have instead is a whole bunch of dispensers in here. Like, each one of these is a dispenser. Let me just open it up for a second. Bam, dispenser. And in each of the dispensers is a bucket of water. They're all individually powered. I'm sure there's a more efficient way to do this, but this is the way that was easiest for me. But I just walk down here. And bam, there's mobs, which is great because I have that mending enchantment now. And it truly is kind of a game changer. So while we're already checking in, I'm only going to record this clip tonight probably before I do some more work around. I'll probably make this tunnel neater, just because it's the way I get to one of the most important parts of my base now, so it's kind of important. Turns out the math wasn't that hard. Apparently, if you can see the mob in the center spinning, you're close enough to activate the mob spawner. But here's what we've done so far. I have added part of the things I've talked about. We have this path here that leads back out there. Oh my goodness, that's so many creepers. Don't see me. It's not the neatest, but it's functional, which is really all I need so that I can expand into these other areas. I have a path up here because I want to be able to explore more of these caves and mainly come in and get a lot of this coal and copper because that's good XP too. But I have continued this upper level, as you can see, and I plan to have a 3rd entrance right here. But more than anything, I plan to go into the cave in both of these spots. That's probably going to require a beacon, because this is going to be a lot of work. I'm not going to lie. Not the most excited about all of that digging, but I think the end result will be really cool and also functional. I want to straddle the line between cool and function for as long as possible, and eventually function's gonna win, but for, oh hey, I did not know that roof was not complete. Eventually function will win, but until then, I just want things to be cool. Like, I just want a really cool base, and especially with what we've got going so far, I think, like, not to toot my own horn, but I'm kind of crushing it. Like, in my last series, my Ender Dragon Let's Play, I called myself not a builder. I don't know if just, like, looking at what I've got going on here, I can say that's strictly true. Because, like, it's not perfect, but this has brought me so much joy. like redstone's cool and all, but I'm kind of indifferent to it. Whereas this is what I like about Minecraft, is finding the natural structures and carving them out and building the stories that I think took place within them. Next, when it comes to this main city, I need to work on the floor again. Like all of these offshoots, all of these caves, they're super cool, they're great. But I have more parts that need floor. Like if you come through this way, you see that this leads off into an open cavern with some dripstone. We investigated it a little bit in, I think, the first episode. No, it would have had to have been the second episode. But as you can see, there is a whole open and empty space that is rife, absolutely ready, and absolutely amazing for the makings of a residential district. I think there are some houses in this city that are built up into the walls. But I think some people just took some wood, found a cave, and built a house. Like, I definitely think that a majority of the houses that we build, just for maybe storing spare materials, will be back there. Like, once these chests overfill with stone and stuff, maybe I build a house out of stone to store my leftover stone in. I just think that'd be really interesting. I'm really excited to see how this build in particular continues to evolve. But before that, I have a lot of nitty-gritty, managey things to do. Part of that nitty-gritty is continuing to work on our sorting system. I am continuing to farm cows, which I state delicately for my dear mother's constitution. But sometimes the nitty-gritty is not actually nitty-gritty, so I built an aquarium, and we got some axolotls, and they're just straight vibing. I don't know why the water is like this. It's not my favorite thing. Part of me thinks that those aren't all source blocks, maybe. I thought I did it right. Obviously not. I'll work it out. Or I'll figure out a way to make them all source blocks or something. But I love them. They're just having a good little time swimming. Some point later on, I'm going to go and find coral so that we can really decorate it. Even though I don't believe axolotls are saltwater fish, I believe modern axolotls are freshwater fish. Well, freshwater amphibians. But, you know, who cares? They can have coral anyway. There's not freshwater coral, I don't think, but I don't care about that. And now that we've done a little bit of nitty gritty, we've got a mob chest. I think the redstone will go here and mob stuff will go there. Maybe the redstone stuff will end up down here. I don't know. The storage system is truly a work in progress, but we have fewer dump chests, and that's a big start. But what we have to do now is the thing I have been putting off all episode. I honestly wasn't sure I was going to even do it this episode because I really didn't want to. We need to build a super smelter. I don't want to. I absolutely don't want to, but this room, because it is right above my mines, is going to be where I put my super smelter. So I'm going to do it. But the first thing we're going to be doing is clearing this room out to an extent that I think is large enough. And then I will come back and we will plan sort of what I think this smelter is going to look like. So we have this nice big empty room. And I think I know how this works. I think we just need a line of chests. And I'm going to leave this so that I can get back there. And then we need a line of hoppers into these chests. On top of those hoppers will be the actual furnaces. There will be a set of hoppers. Hold on. Let me start building this and I will come back and you can follow along my thought process. I need to get some hoppers first. So we have all of what I'm going to call the first layer done. We have I guess this is our first and half of the second layer. Because here, there will be another line of hoppers. Oh, I'm gonna need a base for this. So we will have another line of hoppers coming into these chests. and a line of chests on top of them? No, we won't. Okay, right. So, actually, so I've built sort of an example of what this is gonna look like. I've built the first one out in what I think is its entirety. First, we have this chest, and into this chest will go whatever we want to smelt, cobblestone, whatever. It will get distributed into these 2 hoppers and then into the furnaces. Behind, we have hoppers leading in to furnaces on a rail, which will have a hopper minecart. From that hopper minecart, fuel will go in. So we will have a separate chest here that is just chock-a-block full of coal, just absolutely dropping coal into the system. We can use other things for fuel too. Basically, that's just where we throw the fuel in. If we build a kelp farm, we will have one of these that is just for kelp. Each of these will be for a different thing. Like, I think this one is going to be for ores, because I've already started using it for ores. My main problem right now is that I do not have enough hoppers. So I do need to go and farm some more iron. But I think this design will work. Ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between and outside, we've done it. It's functional. I would not go so far as to say it's pretty, but it's so functional. It's absolutely very functional. If you come back here, you can see my nice little hopper minecart line that has 2 different chests I can put coal into, because when I was just putting it into one, coal wasn't getting into these 3 furnaces. I don't know if enough wasn't getting dropped down and if eventually it would have worked itself out, but I didn't want to wait for that. So I just went ahead, and God, I love it so much. It's so nice. I really underestimated how convenient this was going to be. Just being able to throw things in a smelter. I just am very pleased with the fact that that's like nicely done. While I was waiting on that to figure itself out, I started adding the floor here. It is definitely a work in progress, and it's not something I'm like focused on either. This is, oh God, this is definitely a like side project for just when I happen to have some spare time. I am not worried about doing this section of the base for probably a month. I want this section to be very solid first, which is going to require getting a lot of our shops up and looking the way I'd like them to. So far, I don't know what the other ones are gonna be. I still need to make a farmer's stand probably right here. I have some more wood of different kinds, and I think that's really going to help with the look I'd like to go for. But beyond that, I haven't really settled on a design. I might make a backup and play around in a creative world. I really, now that this has started oxidizing more, like the way it looks, and I'm gonna let it completely oxidize and then maybe play around with adding some other blocks that fit into that color palette. I don't think I will put any shops, quote unquote shops, up there. I think that's a little too much moving. That's a lot of work. Oh. Okay, I don't remember that. I'll have to come and board this up with stone, probably. Next episode will just be a lot of building. I think that's my goal, is to just really nail down what I'm going to be doing out here, what it's going to look like, now that I've got the shape of this area and I'm really happy with it, I can start to build the frames at least of these buildings and go from there. Then I can worry about using stuff like the lanterns I got from my librarians and really sort of dig down into the fullness of the area. But I think that's going to have to be where we leave it today. I know... What is that noise? Okay, there's a skeleton somewhere. I'll have to deal with that after this. I know this episode was way late. There was some personal stuff going on. It happens. I just, the start of this year has been wild for a lot of people. I know that for sure. Everybody's kind of going through it, which has kind of been the way it's been the last, couple of years. But I just, I keep pushing forward. I find this to be a really great distraction. And I think that's neat that I have this, sort of like mildly social distraction. I'll see you guys next time. I hope you're having a great day. I hope your week's going to get off to a great start. Jelly out.